Everyone knows the basis of any settlement is a two-state solution, an independent, united Palestinian state and an Israeli state that is secure. And I think that although they phrase it differently, they talk in terms of different requirements to get there, the truth is that's the bottom line. And I think they're able to bridge those gaps.
But do you, on a practical level, do you still expect that the Israelis down the road would be, whatever the government in place may be, would be able to roll back the settlement to allow the emergence of a Palestinian state with Jerusalem, with its capital in Jerusalem?
The answer is, I believe yes. I believe there is a way for the Palestinians and the Israelis to work out the most complicated piece of this is Jerusalem. I need not tell you that. I need not tell anyone in your listening audience that. But I am absolutely convinced that the overriding factor here is that the status quo is not good for either party, and they both know it. So there's an old expression in English, where there's a will, there's a way. I believe the will exists. I think we, along with the Arab states, have to help provide the way. Because one of the messages I heard as well, both parties very much think it's important that the United States, as well as the Arab states, are supportive in this effort of the parties to find a reconciliation here. And I'll put it slightly different. We have no choice but to try. We have no choice.
Mr. Vice President, where do you see the Israelis and the Palestinians in 4 months' time?
Well, negotiations for negotiation's sake are not the objective here. In 4 months' time, God willing, I see the Israelis and the Palestinians actually in not just the proximity talks, but actually beginning to talk with one another. This is not going to be solved by either the goodwill of the Arab states, the Arab League, and or the bridging function of the United States. They are necessary, I believe, to get us to the point where the parties are willing to actually sit down.
And can you get this done even though the Palestinians are divided, Gaza is under siege? What do you plan to do about Gaza?
Well, let me make it clear. As I said to a group of very impressive Palestinian businessmen I met with earlier today, we cannot want peace more than the Palestinians want peace. I believe that the single most significant thing that can bring about reconciliation among the Palestinians is if the Palestinian people see real progress being made. I fervently believe, and I have believed for a long time, the vast majority of the Palestinian people want a two-state solution. Now look, there are outside influences that don't want to see this happen. There are elements in both societies, minorities, that will be the lowest common denominator, will do whatever. You're familiar with American football. This is a heck of a metaphor to use on Al Jazeera, but we talk about like Middle Eastern soccer, Middle Eastern football. In American football, they say there's the red zone, the last 10 meters, the last 10 yards. It's easier to move the ball the first 90 yards than it is the last 10 yards. Because the defense can come in, and it is much more difficult. We're down in the red zone. We're very close to the possibility, we, the parties, of getting an agreement. But this is the time where any little thing can blow this up, figuratively and literally. And that's why I and the President plan on being very straightforward. If the Palestinian side engages in activity that is degrades trust, we will condemn that as well. There has to be accountability here. Accountability. And I think both the Israeli people and the Palestinian people will respond to that accountability.
Mr. Vice President, in the little time that I have left, now you talked about the red zone. Yes. Do you think the Palestinians and the Israelis can traverse the red zone without sorting out the issue of Gaza?
No, I think that's part of what has to be sorted out. You can look at this from the perspective of the Palestinians in Gaza, the Palestinians in the West Bank, Fatah, Hamas, Israel. They all have slightly different perspectives. The truth of the matter is, this has to be one united state of Palestine. That's Gaza. And there has to be a connectivity. But you have to start somewhere. I believe if in fact we begin to make progress, you will see the stature and standing of the PA rise in Gaza as well as in the West Bank. I think you'll begin to convince people that there is a benefit to actually engaging. But the Israelis have to do their part. They have to come forward too. They have to make some difficult decisions. But it's so easy to say, and I'm not suggesting you're just stating the obvious. Gaza is considerably there's considerably less progress going on in Gaza than there is in the West Bank. And so it all is connected, but it requires the demonstration of progress. And that only occurs if the parties are sitting down looking at one another.